If the algorithm loves me, the algorithm is going to make sure that this video finds a pick me or a woman that is trying to overcome her pick me ways. So if this live stream found you, the algorithm knows that you're a struggling pick me because you're out here still looking for male validation and still making your decisions based off of what men think. When in reality, they carry such little value in the world. You're bringing your own value down by even giving a fuck about what these men are even wanting a woman to do. Because guess what? The shit's not going to work anyway. Okay. At least for me, that's been like one of the most freeing things with decentering men is accepting the fact that all of these things that men say that they claim that they want women to do, the shit's not going to work. Okay. It's not going to work. Therefore, what they're saying is worthless. It's useless. All it's going to do is put you in a predicament where you're going to go from man to man to man, and it's just going to lower your value in the process. It's no fucking point, honestly. No point at all. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out my link tree. Join the Patreon. Join the membership channel if you would like. You can also go to my partnership with Womanizer to get you some self-pleasure goodies, and you can use my code AFF-Queen, A as in Apple, F as in Frank, F as in Frank -Queen, and get yourself some money off. I actually have a couple other brand partnerships with some other self-pleasure companies, but I got to make content for those people. It's like 3 different brands. So, yeah, so I really wanted to talk about this conversation today because I cannot believe there are still women out here that are making decisions based off of male validation. You are living your life as a caged bird, wondering how you're going to function, what form you're going to put yourself in, because you're thinking about what a species wants women to do. The same species that's out here sleeping with corpses, lizards, turkeys, children, elderly. I mean, come on. They don't care. They don't have any standard. You cannot listen to what a species are saying that clearly show you that they have no standard. But then when it comes to women, all of a sudden they have all these standards. No. Okay. Men have to take what they can get. They're not these crazy picky people. Okay. Always remember, how someone does one thing is how they do everything. Okay. If he ain't picky about his hygiene, picky about his pockets and how much money he got coming in, picky about his appearance before he leaves the house, trust me, he ain't that picky about what type of woman he wants to be with. Okay. So there's no point in you trying to get the right body, get the type of hair, do all this shit that these men claim that they want women to do. It doesn't make a difference. Okay. It's going to be the same woman that's in front of him that's not doing any of this shit that he claims that he wants to do. That's going to be the only woman that's going to give him an opportunity. And so guess what? Therefore, that's the woman that he's going to go with because that's the only one giving him a goddamn chance. Okay. It's really that simple. Quit wasting your time thinking about what these men want. I mean, unless you want their money, like kind of what Shira talks about. If it's something that you want to get out of them, you kind of have to consider what they want. But even then, you really shouldn't give that. Like, you shouldn't be changing anything drastic. Okay. You shouldn't be changing nothing drastic. Okay. If the guy wants his ego pumped up, okay, of course you're going to have to play stupid. You know what I mean? But on like a grand scale, their validation is pointless. The only validation that is worthy from a man is fucking money. If it's not money, it's not worth anything. Okay. The good morning text, oh, you're so beautiful. I want to make you my wife. And, I want us to have children and a family. That shit's worthless. Okay. You're wasting your time. Those are just words. Okay. Y'all know I'm really starting to eat healthy, and I'm being consistent when I whip these bad boys out. The sparkling Saratoga. these help me with my I don't want to say cravings, because it doesn't help with my cravings. It will help with my fullness. Okay. Helps a lot with my fullness because I'm doing well. I'm being consistent, even though it hasn't even been a week yet. But I made sure that I haven't bought any bullshit and brought it into my home. That's always the first step. If you're trying to lose weight, keep that shit that you like to eat, keep the shit at the store, okay? Don't bring it in the home, all right? Leave the shit outside. If you want to go for a little like sweet treat or whatever, leave the home and go for the sweet treat and just leave it out there. Don't bring it inside, okay? I like kombucha too. I have a whole case of kombucha. I used to make kombucha all the time. And kombucha is super easy to make. All you have to do is just order a SCOBY. And then you just take some sugar, some black tea, and some green tea. You get a big old mason jar. Put it all in there after you done brewed your tea. And you put your cheesecloth on, put the cap on, and you let it ferment for as long as you want to. And if you want to make it sweeter, you could put fruit in there, and the longer you let it ferment, the sweeter it'll be. Honestly, I'm at the point in my life where I'm also anti men tricking on me. I did the sheer 7 stuff when I was in my 20s because I just had more energy to do it. I'm 32 years old. I don't have energy to do that shit. I make more than enough money. I'm not going to invest my time and my energy for men to give me a fraction of what it is that I'm already making. Okay. I'm well exceeding what the average man is making. So there's no money that they could give me that I would even care about. But yes, and thank you. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, thumbs up, all that stuff. I'm trying to get better about like mentioning it. You know what I mean? It's always nice for you guys to like the live stream. It helps the algorithm. Also, I added a thumbnail to this, and I don't know why, but the thumbnail's cracking me up on this video. I just had vidIQ make it, and so I just typed in black woman unhappy around men, and it was just a black woman with a ton of white men, and it says, "I hate this party." I was like, I don't know why, but I was cracking up for like 3 minutes before I even got on the live stream, and I just made it the thumbnail. I'm like, I don't know why it chose "I hate this party," but it kind of makes sense to me. Okay, sorry. Let me get serious. All right. So anyway, back to my talking points, okay, as far as like male validation being worthless. Okay. It's kind of like what I mentioned earlier, okay? These men are freaking average, okay? Validation from someone that's powerless means that they're powerless. That means that what they're telling you has no validity or power behind it. Because how can someone who doesn't even have power over themselves give you power? Okay, men are not emotionally intelligent. They don't have any money for real. They're not spiritually in tune with themselves. They're not even in control of their basic impulses. Okay, cheating, lying, addictions, scrolling, gaming. I mean, they're not in control of any of their basic impulses, their basic desires. So if a man is like literally telling you that you're beautiful, if you're wifey material, you would make a good mother, in most cases, you're being chosen by someone that hasn't even chosen themselves. Okay. Like that's not a flex. Okay. Men don't even put themselves on like a high enough standard, and all of a sudden they have standards for women. It's like, bro, you haven't even fully wiped your own ass. You haven't even fully wiped your own ass where it's clean after you took a poop in like 10 years. And you're going to sit here and say make it seem as if you have some coveted gift. of giving women validation or having it seem as if there's some level of validation that women should be chasing after. It's like, dude, you haven't even done the work to grow yourself and have yourself be ascended. Like, come on. How can you even take somebody like that seriously? Because I know me. I don't care about someone's opinion of me when I don't want their life. Okay. If I wouldn't trade places with the person, I don't give a fuck what they have to say about me. There's no man in the world where I would want to trade places with him. No man in the world. So automatically that invalidates anything that they have to say to me. Okay. I'm not crossing my fingers hoping that I trade places with a man. So therefore, what they say, what their opinion is, it's null and void. They could say all of the things that they want to say. You said I just miss going out on dates. I could see how that could be. But my thing about it is this, like, I feel like, girl, go out on a date. All you gotta do is go out on a date and you'll be deterred. Go out on a date and you'll be deterred. You'll be like, that was a waste of a fucking hour. Like, the man barely could carry a conversation. The man wasn't even funny. Like, as soon as you start, I'm telling you, as soon as you start longing for something when it comes with a man, all you got to do is act on it and they will quickly bring you back down to reality. Thank you for the super chat, Sierra. I appreciate it. They literally, they'll snap you right back to reality. Like, what the fuck was I thinking? I done wasted a whole outfit in like an hour and a half of my time being here, not counting the time it took me to get ready and get over here. Every time I had that feeling and I acted on it, I was like, I was like, I'm not doing this shit again. I just ride the wave of missing certain things. Okay. Honestly, I'll be quicker to get dressed for myself and just take myself out to dinner because then that means that I don't have to hear somebody else's mouth. And that means I don't have to hear and have to pretend like I'm interested in what this goddamn man says. Like, oh my God. Have y'all watched that one reel, Akon talking about men are the creators and men are divine? He could just create a baby in an incubator. Okay, that's like, okay, so like, doesn't Akon like have like money or something, or like, didn't he like build a whole city or like help build a whole city or something? Like, when he says incubator, like that's giving me like the Matrix vibes. Like, remember when Neo in the Matrix, when they like had showed him like, what it actually is, like outside, and then they saw the peak. He went in and he was in an incubator, and then he looked and it was a whole portal of incubators where everybody was pretty much being fucking born. It's so crazy that the it's so crazy to me because I literally was just thinking, I'm like, it would literally be the reverse. Okay, we could there's just think of it like this. There's so many women that are pregnant. Okay, there are so many women that are pregnant now. We literally could slash every guy alive right now, and then just wait until the man became of age. Wait until the man became of age, and we could repopulate this bitch all over again. Like, I've been applying for waitress jobs, but not much luck. I have excellent body shots and look nice when I go for interviews. Any advice? Honestly, what I would do, I don't know how far you're trying to go out to be able to get a job. I don't know how close you're trying to travel to be able to get a waitress job, but also think outside the box. Like, don't forget, like, hotels, like look into bartending too. I would look into bartending in addition to waitress jobs. I would get my bartender liquor license and see if you can be a bartender at like a nice hotel, at like a very high-end restaurant. Like, I would try to look into bartending in addition to waitressing. That way it'll open up your pool because then you also can use your beauty for bartending. And then also, like, depending on where you work, it could be a little bit less competition too, depending on where it is, since you have to be, 21 years plus to be a bartender. That will kind of help you. That will help you as well. So I would keep applying for waitress, but I would look into getting my liquor license. And then the cool thing about it too is that with your liquor license, like, you could grow a business out of that. Kind of hard for you to grow a business out of being a waitress, but you can grow a business out of having your liquor license. I know several women that have done it in my hometown. They just create an LLC. They like put their cards at certain establishments, and then if there's like a repass or like a party or something like that, they just go ahead and they bring all the drinks, bring all the mixers, have their little Cash App QR code, and then boom, like they do events and parties like that. Go and look into bartending too. Is it worth it to be in a lesbian relationship? Child, I don't know. I don't know. The most obsessive person in my life that I knew was a woman. So I don't know. This is what I think. Um I don't think that like a woman should resort to lesbianism because she's not getting the results that she wants from men. I kind of just see that being a dead end altogether. Um, in my opinion, I feel like that's kind of why like Princella the Queenmaker is where she is now when it comes to the content that she's making, because I kind of feel as though Princella just kind of felt like, okay, I don't like men. And because I dislike men so much, women will be the answer. And I kind of feel like she is starting to see that like going for women isn't going to be the answer too. But if you've discovered that you actually do like women on your decentering men journey, it's not going to hurt you to like start going out on dates with women. Like, you know what I mean? But just don't think that like, because at the end of the day, like, there are just traits that are inherent in humans, okay? Like, regardless of your gender, there's just traits that everybody inherently has. You know what I mean? Everybody's had trauma, everybody's had certain negative life experiences. So, man or woman, like, that's still going to be displayed in a person's human behavior, man or woman. So, don't think that, deciding to be a lesbian is gonna like solve everything. But there are a lot of women in their decentering journey that realize that, maybe they're a lesbian or maybe they're asexual or bisexual, whatever it may be. You could definitely further explore that. I go to the bigger cities like Charlotte, I'm in Concord, and thank you. And then another thing too, see, I don't know what the demographic and I don't know what the look is supposed to be for places like Charlotte. I don't know what the look is over there. So that's another thing too. Some of these places, especially when it's like a city in your area, sometimes you may not have the look that they may want you to have to be a waitress. That's why I kind of feel like bartending is less competitive and you can make a business out of that, because people are always going to have parties. People are always going to be having events. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would do that. A lot of lesbians take on male traits. I'd rather get the rose child. Honestly, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I mean, I haven't like dated any women or anything like that, but like I said, the worst situation I ever had was with a woman. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. But either way, I want my peace. I don't feel like putting up with nobody. Okay. Okay. So, anyway, let me go back to what I was talking about with male validation. Okay. Another reason why it's important to understand that male validation is worthless is because, okay, essentially, male validation puts women in this position where you're just going to be waiting to be chosen. You should never be putting yourself in a predicament where someone is waiting to choose you, because guess what? You should always be choosing yourself. The more you choose yourself, you're not going to be longing for someone else to choose you. It's really not going to matter to you. You're simply just not going to care. Okay? Because, first of all, why would someone choose you when you're not actively choosing yourself on a daily basis? Okay? And when I mean choosing yourself, I mean, like radical acceptance, like actually putting yourself in a predicament where you are accepting like all of your flaws, all of your inadequacies, all of your shortcomings, like choosing yourself regardless of those things, right? You're not some product on the shelf that like needs to be like that's waiting to get picked. Like that's the pick me energy, right? That's where the pick me energy comes from. Pig Misha is like holding on to this male validation as if it's worth so much, and that if she gets picked, it's going to be like the crowning and like the bane of her existence. And it's like, to me, that's like, to me, being a pick me is being in survival mode. Okay. Women that put male validation on a pedestal, that's survival mode. Okay. Women are in survival mode when they care a whole lot about male validation, because that means that she has not done the inner work. She hasn't done the things necessary to see things and understand that she's the creator. She has the life force energy. Everything that it is that she wants can internally come from within. Um, you know, when you're building your own empire and like you already got things going for yourself, you don't even see breadcrumbs. Like breadcrumbs don't exist to you. Like that's just so far beyond you and so, past you. And auditioning and people pleasing, you don't care about that stuff, because you just kind of realize that it's just not going to make a difference. No way. Like, honestly, it's just not going to make a difference. Please do a series on abundance and money making, etc. I need some help. It will be on the spiritual channel for sure. I definitely wouldn't do it over here. I would do it on the spiritual channel. But I will. I can. um and another thing too is that, like, I don't know, for whatever reason, a lot of women don't understand that, like, just men don't care. All men care about is sleeping with people. They just try to make it seem as if they have these different sectors of how they see women in order to keep women working for their validation. That's the reason why they say all these things. They're not actively, most of them are begging to get sex to begin with. Okay. So you can't tell me that a man is begging for sex and being picky about who he's going to sleep with versus who he's going to marry when he could barely get somebody to sleep with him. Okay. They don't have it like that. But for a lot of women that are still pygmisha, in their brain, they still believe that men got it like that. They actually believe that men are just these wonderful people that everybody wants them. And it's like, girl, no. Everybody wants them, but it's taken 200 swipes for a man to get one coffee date. And women are over here caring about what the fuck they gotta say. Meanwhile, men are gonna get carpal tunnel. Men are about to get carpal tunnel in 2 years from swiping right all the goddamn time to get one coffee date. They're really gonna get carpal tunnel from getting 5 coffee dates over the course of 5 years. No. These are not the species that you want validation from. It's just not worth it. It's not. Another thing is that men are so paradoxical. Okay. They're so paradoxical because they're always having to fight with patriarchy and then like their actual desires and what they want. So that's what creates men to be very paradoxical. This is why you can't really believe what they're telling you when they're trying to say that there's a certain type of woman that they like. There are certain requirements that a woman has to do in order for them to, a woman to like gain their likeness. The more you try to impress men, the less they respect you. Okay. It's really cut and dry. Because subconsciously men associate desperation for male attention with lack of self-worth. That's the reason why men are like, they don't like it when girls post bikini pictures. Men don't like it when women put themselves in a predicament to get attention from men. Right? They're always trying to drool over both, but men are always trying to chase something that they think they can't have. If they see a woman posting thirst traps and shit, they're like, oh, anybody will be able to have her. But they're subconsciously saying that the more that you do things for men, the less that they're going to respect you anyway. They're subconsciously admitting that. So what's the fucking point? What's the fucking point of impressing them? That's why I made the video about conservative men wanting liberal women. Like, they want what they can't have. They want what's not obtainable. They don't actually want women that are going out of their way to do everything for male validation. It's just sparkling water. I don't drink. I don't drink. I'm just drinking my Saratoga, my sparkling water. And then another thing too, when you care about male validation, you're just going to be a reflection of their preference. And then you're not going to be true to yourself. That means you're going to have to live being a shapeshifter. Okay. He's going to be telling you at the drop of a dime, and I've seen it. Okay. I've literally seen it. I've literally seen women with their boyfriend, with their significant other. They wanted the girl to get breast implants. The girl gets breast implants. Oh, they're not big enough, or they're too small. They're too small. They're too big. They have a woman go right up under the knife and they tell her, I don't like those. Okay, she goes right under the knife and goes get surgery again. There are women that are going that far. It's never that serious, okay? Women damaging their hair, dyeing their hair, losing all this weight, gaining all this weight. That was another reason why I decided to just decenter men, because it's like, I like to change my body, and I like to have like different phases of my body. Like, I don't always want to be smaller. I don't always want to be thicker. Currently, like, I want to be thinner. I want to be thinner. But for a while, like, I didn't really mind like having like extra. It didn't really matter to me. But now I want to be thinner. I don't have time to be living in my own body and someone telling me what they do or don't like about me living in my own body. I don't have time for that. I liked you when you look this way. Well, people change, goddammit. People change, goddammit. These are the same men that will expect you to look the same after you had a baby. Makes no sense. My patient today is from Saratoga Springs, the town that makes the water that you're drinking. Oh, nice. Yeah, the sparkling and the still water, the Saratoga water, is so good. It's so good. Because, hold on. Where is Saratoga at? Okay, it's in New York. Okay, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I think it's in New York. I don't have time to do all that twisting and bending and manipulating. And any woman watching this, you shouldn't either. It's not that serious. Doing all that twisting and turning and contorting and the thing about it is that this is why men are so heavy on semantics. Women have brainwashed themselves to believe that that's compromise. That's not fucking compromising. Changing your body, giving up your interests, getting rid of your passions and your hobbies, staying silent, that's not fucking compromise. Okay? That's not fucking compromise. Compromise is when you want to go. Compromise is when you guys are deciding what it is that you want to eat. Okay, and one of you guys wants pizza and one of you guys want wings, and guess what? You guys just decide, you know what? We're just going to get a small personal pan pizza and a side of wings. A side of wings. That way you can have your pizza and I can have my wings. That's fucking compromise. Compromise is just meeting in the middle. Compromise is not one person doing 100% of something and the other person doing 0%. That's not fucking compromise. Compromise has to work on both sides. A lot of women have internalized this word compromise when in reality, they're just normalizing the fact of them completely changing themselves under the guise of compromise. That's not a compromise at all. At all. Thoughts on OF girls? Get your money, child. Get your money. I don't care about any of the girls that do any type of SW, okay? Because I stripped in a strip club and I had OnlyFans at one point. So I definitely don't care. Okay. When I had OnlyFans, that extra few $1,000s a month was very beneficial, very, very helpful for my life. So I'm never gonna get mad at women making extra income or like having that be a way for them to make income. I don't care. Because I look at it like this. There wouldn't be a market for it if men weren't buying it. Right? It ain't like the women are forcing these men to spend their money. The reason why it's there is because men have their pockets open. They got their card ready to swipe. They got their cards ready to type and punch the numbers in. So until men decide that they don't want to, which is never going to happen, but unless men decide that they no longer want to lust over women, which is never going to happen, it's always going to be in demand. It's always going to be a way for women to make money, honestly. But wouldn't that push that type of behavior of cheating? Men are going to cheat regardless. You think it's just OnlyFans? Child, they're cheating with women at work. The number one place that a man's going to cheat is at the workplace. OnlyFans is not needed. If a man wants to cheat, he's going to cheat. Didn't matter. Most of them, given the opportunity and someone caught them on the bad day, they're going to cheat. It just is what it is. Any advice for women who do sex work? It can be dangerous. Aren't they dealing with the worst of men? Well, statistically, the worst man that's going to be in a woman's life is her partner. Okay, that's going to be the person that's going to unalive her. That's going to be the person that actually does cause harm to her. It's going to be the person that she is partnered up with. Of course, S work. S work can obviously be dangerous, but I would say no matter what, when you're dealing with a man, you have to pretend like you're a S worker, even if you're not. Okay. Being an S worker, a lot of those women tend to not be in as many dangerous situations as women that are partnered up with men, because women in sex work understand what they're dealing with. So they're taking the precautions. They're not they're not meeting up with a guy on an app and driving to a guy's place alone. These escorts have security with them, waiting outside for them. Like they're being accompanied by somebody. You know what I mean? A lot of these women have all of the precautions that they need that they're taking. It's usually the women that are out trying to date men that aren't really thinking like that. You know what I mean? So in my time of dancing, I mean, don't get me wrong, like were there a few times where I was just kind of like, okay, this is sketchy, but I would say 98% of the time I felt perfectly safe. But also it's just a matter of not being stupid and not being desperate. I'm not going to no hotel. I'm not meeting up with no guy, because at least in the strip club, like they're really heavy on that. Like, do not leave with the customers. Like all the girls that I knew that left with customers lost their life pretty much. A decent amount of them did. A decent amount of them ended up losing their life when they were meeting up with these customers. So just like I wouldn't advise for you to meet up with a guy that you meet on a dating app at his house, it would be the same exact thing I would tell an S worker. Don't be meeting up with no guy at no hotel or anything like that. Like, don't be doing all that stuff unless you got, some protection, you know what I mean, for you. But in a lot of those things, and the thing about it is that a lot of that comes from disparity. Just like how S workers put themselves in danger or potentially put themselves in danger because disparity for money, women will put themselves in danger out of disparity for validation. They'll just do it through a relationship or through a marriage. Because no matter what, as soon as you're deal with men, the level, your level of danger goes up. Okay, that's just, they're the ones committing most of the crime. So the moment you decide to deal with a man, the risk is going to go up for you to be in some form of danger. I know Manifest Still said in one video, essentially at the end of the day, we're all sex workers in some way and just doing so much in general for anybody. Exactly. I love Manifest Still, by the way. Love Manifest Still. Love her, love her, love her. I see it as you don't know that woman's situation. What if she has a baby to take care of or a college debt to pay? I've always been empathetic because, child, I use my money to pay for my college. I was not taking a loan out. It wasn't happening. So I was like, nope, I'm paying my college out of pocket working at the club. And that's exactly what I did. We should never humble ourselves when people are jealous around us. It really opened my mind and helped my situation. You are incredible. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, when life is just easier when things are on a transaction. Um, and the thing about it is that it actually takes men aback. You'll know if a man is trying to manipulate you or not through like sweet talking, through validation, through love bombing and stuff like that. You'll know because men will be very taken aback when you say exactly what it is that you want and you tell them exactly what you'll give them in return for them giving you what you want. A lot of men, they really, really will be repulsed by it because they don't want to feel used. Okay. I don't want to feel used either. So guess what? I guess we're going to be in a predicament where we're both not going to be able to use each other. Okay. Because at the end of the day, they want to be able to just use you and have you not be aware of it. Right. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I like my nails too. I just told the nail tech, I was like, do whatever you want to do. So that's what she did. I was like, do something colorful. Yeah, my ex could have killed me. Justice have prevailed. Stay safe. Oh, well, I'm glad you're still with us. And I'm glad you got justice. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's smart to make them take a picture of their ID. That's super, super smart. Yeah. Every time you make it transactional, you tell them right away, hey, you want me to do XYZ? Wonderful. I will do it, but you have to give me XYZ. A lot of men, especially the younger men, they hate it. They hate it so much. The older men, at least in my experience, they don't have a problem with it. It's the younger men. I don't want to feel used and I feel okay, well then there you go. Why did you take the stripper route? Did it mess with your worth value? No, it increased my worth and my value because it's your mindset on what it is that you decide to do. I mean, honestly, there are a lot of women that go to the strip club because it's a reclamation of their sexuality. It's they're reclaiming it. You know, there are a lot of women who like might have suffered abuse, you know, they were SA'd or molested, something like that. And so there are a lot of women that go through those situations and they feel dirty. You know what I mean? They feel as though their privates are dirty and desecrated and disgusting, and they carry a lot of shame. And there are a lot of women that they actually go into doing that job because it gives them an opportunity to reclaim that. You know what I mean? Instead of being disassociated from it. Because a lot of the time when things like that happen, and a lot of the time when women go through stuff like that, um kind of what happens is like women, I don't know about men, okay, but I know a lot of time when like women are getting SA'd, a lot of women have to dissociate because you know that's a traumatic thing that's happening. So their body and their mind have to disconnect, that way they don't feel the full visceral aspect of what's happening to them in that moment. And so that kind of gets carried on into your life and you become very numb to things. So then what happens is that, you know, women quit. They don't want to feel numb anymore. They want to feel connected to their body. They want to feel connected to their sexuality and their sensuality. So there are a lot of women who, you know, they'll go into doing like stripping or pole dancing or, you know, stuff like that, just simply because they want to reconnect back to they want to reclaim what was taken from them. You know what I mean? If you mean older men, older men especially. I've met guys in their 30s and 40s being cheap too and feeling used. Yeah, to me, 30s and 40s is young. 30s and 40s is young. Like, I'm like Shira. Like, when I'm talking old, I'm talking old, okay? Like, I'm talking like 65. Like, I don't even really consider a man to be old until he's about 70. Anything under 70, that man is not old, okay? Because I'm telling you, 70 years old is when men really start taking life seriously. Okay. Like, honestly, they really do live into their 70s and they fuck around up until they're 70 because that's when the Grim Reaper's like, the Grim Reaper's like, are you there? Are you there? I'm coming. And they're like, oh no. Oh no. And then they finally start taking life seriously. Once the Grim Reaper is super close, super close, girl, that's when they're going to be like, it's time for me to get serious. It's time for me to actually find something and get my short. That's when they want to get their life together. I literally had a patient who was 65 years old. He's a neurologist, not a bad looking guy, not a bad looking guy. This man literally said, I'm looking for, he was hitting on me and he's like, I'm looking for someone to grow old with. And in my head, I'm like, dude, you have grown old. You're looking for someone to grow old with. You ain't got much growing left to do. If you're in a relationship, knowing what you know, what would you do? That just be there for stability? Child, it would have to be some large monetary investment that would have to be given to me for me to be in a relationship with a man. We're talking land, we're talking an investment property, we're talking a large sum of money. We're talking about something like life-changing. And that's, for most men, that's just not going to happen. 65 talking about he's not looking for anything serious. They never grow up. They never grow up. That's why I said, I'm telling you, 70 is the sweet spot. 70 is when men tend to try to start looking for things to be serious because death is near. Okay, death is very close. Queen, would you consider marrying a Rothschild? Probably not, because I'm probably going to have to be in some, they're probably going to make me do something sacrificial. They're going to make me do something sacrificial, and they're going to make me do something with some spiritual entity. It won't even be worth it. Because when it's those elite people, those high elite people, those people are so tied deeply into like deep spiritual things and like a lot of like dark esoteric and occultist things. Hell no. To marry a Rothschild, you probably have to sell your goddamn soul. Honestly, you probably gotta sell your goddamn soul. Tiffany Pollard from Flavor of Love, she's a Rothschild. I didn't know that, but she is. She's actually a Rothschild. Her mom was married to a Rothschild. And you see how crazy Sister Patterson is. That lady even looks crazy. Her mom even looks crazy. They probably put something on her. Yes, I'm telling you. I had a Rothschild patient, and one word for him, weird. I'm telling you, for you to be a Rothschild and for you to get married and to become a Rothschild, I'm telling you, you have to, there's something that you have to give up to be married to a Rothschild, like a large part of yourself. I met a 68-year-old on the dating app, most sane and calm of them all. I'm telling you. 70 years old is a sweet spot, baby. Liver spots and all, okay? Get them with their liver spots, and it's perfect. They have a hearing aid in by that age. What did you say? What did you say? You could say anything to him. You could be like, you're stupid. You're old. He gonna be like, huh? But when they're 70 and then they're single, they don't take any care of themselves. That's the thing that sucks. Ugh. It's because they fucking blasting all that music. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that, but I don't know why all these young guys want to bring a whole fucking boom box. Want to bring a whole boom box in the bathroom with them when they're showering. I'm like, why do you want a fucking full blast stereo in the bathroom while you're showering for 15 minutes? That's why these men have so much hearing loss. These young guys are having so much hearing loss. What is the need for you to blast music to the highest fucking volume while you're taking a shower? Then they want all this bass and shit in their car. Like, no. Mm-mm. Great. They look like Mr. Birds by then. Aw, thank you. This is definitely the thickest my hair has been. I was blonde at one point, and like my hair was a lot flatter when it was blonde. Like, look at how small it was. It was so small compared to now. Wait, let's see if we can do a before and after. Like, it's so much bigger now. Do they still want schmecks after 70? Some of them do. A lot of them, that junk ain't working. And shit, they're about to slash Medicare and Medicaid. Huh, these old men are really going to be assed out. They ain't going to have no insurance to pay for their little blue pill anymore. They're over here talking about, yeah, you women are going to be on welfare and y'all not going to have any money to afford your groceries. Y'all ain't going to have no money to afford getting your dick up anymore either. You have all that's true. He came with dandruff and brown teeth. I'm telling you, when men get older, I've noticed this. When they get older and they don't have a wife, they stink, poor hygiene, teeth are disgusting, dandruff. If they don't have a wife in their life, especially as they get older in age, the more unkept they are. Princess Diana. Talking about he want a booming system in his apartment, just dumb. Like, why do you want a booming system in your apartment so that way the fucking neighbors can call the police on your ass? Like, what? One of my exes used to blast the music, and him and his upstairs neighbor, they were always arguing. They were always arguing because he would have the music be so loud. And I literally would tell him, I'm like, that shit's too loud. No wonder why these men have hearing aids and shit. It's like, come on. I don't ever want to deal with ED again. I'm sorry that you had to deal with it in the first place. Mm-mm. That's why I'm like, male validation, please. Please. You're not, and I'm not going to let some man use their male validation to control me either. A lot of them, that's the reason why they're like so big on talking about their preferences and trying to get women to think it's normal to live for male validation. It's just a form of control, okay? Because they understand it's easy to manipulate you when they see that you're doing things for their validation. You're gonna be easier to breadcrumb. You're gonna overstay your welcome in the relationship. You're gonna compete with other women. Like, you're gonna do all of these things that are worth nothing just simply because you want worthless validation from a man. Like, when women don't care about that validation, it's like, girl, you've been talking to him and you've been sleeping with him too. You want him, girl, you can have him. Okay? Like, it's not that important to me. I'm free. I don't need to be dealing with all that stuff. You want them, you can fucking have them. And don't nothing make a pick me. Oh my God, hi Leah. I haven't seen you in here for so long. Don't, and that's the thing too, don't let it be a woman that's a pick me and you just offer your man up to her. The woman that's a pick me, oh, that'll make a woman go nuts. That'll make a woman go nuts. They'll be like, huh? It's like, girl, yes, you could just have them. Like, and they get pissed. They get so pissed off when they realize that, like, no, I'm not going to fight over you. I'm not going to fight with you over a man. Like, that's one thing I've never done. I've never pulled up. I've never checked a phone. I've never done anything. Like, if you want him so bad, child, you could just have him. It's not even that important to me. Queen, I've been super single for 3 years. I am so happy. I spoil myself so much. Yes, I love that for you. Listen to this, guys. My first patient today, I think it was my first patient. I can't quite remember. But I had a patient today and she looked good. Okay. She was like in very good shape. And I think the woman was probably like 69, older woman. And she looked good. I put the probe down to scan her. Beautiful organs. She was so fucking healthy. And guess what? She's single with 6 cats. This woman was like the healthiest woman that I've scanned. Honestly, at her age, she was the healthiest woman that I scanned since I've been working here in Florida back in April. Single with 6 cats, and literally, she looked so good. I was like, see, I'm doing something right. I'm like, she's cracked the code. I love bass. Now I have tinnitus, but the music wins. Can't do it because of the neighbors. Agree with older single men. Used to be a care. The control so subtle at times. Child. And like even my ear, sometimes it'll kind of like ring. It'll kind of ring a little bit. Because my ear are so sensitive to like earbuds and stuff like that. So I have to be really, really mindful and make sure I keep it real low. I make sure I have the TV low too. Because I grew up with my grandma. Okay. That's another reason why I get very annoyed of things being very loud, because my grandma could barely freaking hear. And I had to be screaming over the TV because she had the TV so loud. And one of my friends, there was a friend that I had, I would go over to their house and I would cut their TV on. They would have the volume on like 30. I'm like, you have your TV volume on 30? Why do you have it on 30? And you're not even 30. You're under 30 years old. Why do you have your TV on 30 volume? There's no reason for it to be that high. There's nothing that is that low through the sound being recorded where you would have to have your volume be at 30 and you're not even 30. I have so many cats. I think of myself as Catwoman with her diamonds. I want a lot of cats. Literally, there was a cat video that I saw yesterday and I just started bawling. Like I just started crying. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get several cats, because I actually do want a lot of cats. Yeah, like the volume. I have the volume literally, I don't have it any higher than like 12. Dated a 70-year-old, but he wanted a stepmom for his 8-year-old. Damn, he had an 8-year-old. Jesus Christ. That's insane. Cat on my lap right now. Oh, you're probably getting all the nice purring, the nice purrs. Like cats are just so mystical. I grew up with cats. my very first animal was a cat. My grandma let me play hooky, and we went to the adoption center, or we went to the Humane Society, and there was this cat. He had been there for like 6 months, and his name was Ernie. And so we bought Ernie that day, but Ernie died. Ernie died in 2016. Like, this was Ernie. Ernie was so cute. He was the cutest. Yeah, I have to when my lease is up from my place, then I'll go on ahead and I'm definitely going to get me a few cats. His eyes were so adorable, right? Oh, he was the cutest. He was the cutest, and he was so clingy. I still have like videos of him and this other cat that we had. This was another cat that we had. Oh, it sucked. I felt so bad for him. He was a stray. We took him in as a stray. And when you like take them into the vet, they get tested for heartworms. Well, I guess like if they get heartworms like early on, it could take up to 6 months for it to be detected on a blood test. And so I guess we got him right after he ended up getting heartworms, because they can get it like from mosquitoes. And so we actually had taken him in like the fall. I think we took him in like October. So that was enough time for it to kind of like, for him to like get the heartworms or whatever, and then for it to kind of like not get detected on the exam. Oh my God, I think we had him for a year, and literally a year later, I seen him like seizing, and he started like foaming at the mouth, and he literally passed away in front of me and Ernie. It was the scariest thing. And then we ended up finding out that he had heartworms. It was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking. Like, he was so cute, and he had like this little docked tail. I don't know why his tail was so short, but his tail was super, super short. And hold on, I'm looking for videos of them fighting because I have several. I still go through these videos. My social media algorithm is like all cat stuff. Hold on. My Tabby was such a bad fighter. He just was a terrible fighter. He was so wimpy. He was so wimpy. But the black cat, Maxwell, he was a fighter. He was a fighter. I definitely want a tabby again. I want a tabby and a black cat. That's all I've ever had, are tabbies and black cats. That's all I've ever had. Sorry, y'all. I know I veered off talking about cats. If you couldn't tell, I freaking like cats a lot. I was watching the last video that I watched before I got on here was a rescue cat video. They rescued some kittens in the mama cat. So yeah, I've definitely been longing for a cat, for real. That's why I don't care about male validation. Like, if I focus on male validation, that's going to divert me from like getting a cat. That's going to divert me from like making enough money so I could take care of several cats, like male validation will divert me from too many things that I really care about. And the thing about it is that, like, I remember being younger, like male validation, it does give you like a little bit of dopamine, but after a while, you're just numb to it, and you're just like, this crap isn't even worth anything. Like, why am I even doing this? Aw, I'm sorry to hear about your cat. I grew up with cats, and my cat transitioned in 2018, but now I'm ready to get another. Oh, yeah, I'm ready to get another cat. Well, I think I told you guys that already, but my dog passed away a few months ago, but he was our family dog that was actually back home in the Midwest. So he wasn't living with me. I gave him back to the family in 2021. I'm just glad I got to see him right before he ended up passing away. That way it wasn't a whole lot of time spent, or like not being spent to see him. Um But I'm definitely not ready for another dog, but I am ready for another cat because it's been a really long time. I'd love to hear a topic about men with kids being on that topic. Girl, don't do it. Don't fucking do it. The thing about it is that men with kids, a lot of the time, they're looking for a stepmama. They're looking for a stepmama, and they're just getting access to more vagina because a lot of them, they're still, I don't know, they're still linked to their baby mama. They still want access to sleeping with her. And it's like, just forget it. Just forget it. Just deal with your baby mama. Like, that's like, I don't want to say instant access to sleeping with somebody because obviously the baby mama can be in a relationship with somebody else for obvious reasons. But if he has children, don't do it. That's the reason why they don't like everything that men judge women on is a projection. Okay. I guarantee you it's always a projection. That's the reason why men don't like single mothers. The reason why men don't like single mothers is because they genuinely think that women that are single mothers are doing the same exact shit that they're doing. They genuinely believe that women are out here like scheming and sleeping with their baby daddy still. When in reality, there's a lot of women, they're just over it. They're like, I don't want nothing. Like, a lot of women can't stand their freaking baby daddies. They be praying for their baby daddy to move on. But for men, it's not like that. For men, it's not like that. In their head, they're like, yes, it's another person that I still have access to. And therefore, I'm still going to utilize the access that I have to said person. Like, when I hear women talk about their baby daddies, they're like, I can't stand that man. Like, they be talking about how they can't stand him. They be talking about how they wish he never was their baby daddy. Exactly. Yeah, it's like, Aw, thank you. You all are so sweet. You all are so sweet. And like, I only put 2 products in my hair. I don't do anything like special. It's just Curl Maker by Camille Rose and then my Inner Sense. That's it. That's all I put in to style my hair. Well, that's the reason why they don't like single moms. The reason why they don't like single moms is because they're projecting their need for keeping access to a woman onto they're projecting that onto women. So they're thinking that, okay, if a woman is a single mom, she has access to her baby daddy still. She's going to want to act on that access. They like to talk about, I'm not raising another man's kids. A lot of the time, women that are single moms usually don't want a man coming in raising her children anyway. That's why they'll be like, you should let me discipline the child or whatever. And it's like, dude, no, like you don't need to have any involvement. Like, which one is it? You don't want to raise somebody else's child, but then you're getting mad that the woman won't let you discipline her child. Like, which one is it? Like, pick a side. Do you want to be a part of the child's life or not? That's why I said a lot of this validation bullshit, it's just them using it as a form of control and power over women. Like, they just constantly want women to be making every decision of their life based in what men are thinking, because that's the only power that men have. Most men don't hold any power. The most power that a man is going to hold is over his wife and over his kids. Now, he's not going to hold enough power over employees because he's not going to own anything. He's not going to be able to hold that type of power. The easiest power for a man to get is through them marrying someone and having children. They can be their own little dictator over what they're doing. They just want to constantly project what it is that they want onto women, so that way it's a form of control. They feel powerful. This is why they don't understand how women can be confident and have a high self-esteem despite not fitting the male gaze or the male standard. They don't understand that because they think that their attempt to train women to be longing for their validation, they cannot fathom that we are actually living a life where we're not caring or thinking about what it is that they're doing. It's a bruise to their ego. That's why they can't believe it. They're like, what? I'm not as powerful as I thought I was. I'm not as powerful. You mean I'm not able to hold a whole lot of power by telling women what they should and shouldn't be doing? And you mean they're not going to listen to me? You mean they're not going to listen to me in what I'm saying and go on this merry-go-round of what they should and shouldn't be doing? No, they're not. Why would they? For what? What's the payoff? That's what men can never answer. Men can never answer that. What's the payoff? For me to do what it is that you're telling me that I should be doing to impress you, what's the payoff? For you to have a man. Okay, what can I do with that? What can I do with that that's beneficial? What can I do with that that's life-changing? Oh, you mean get approval from a bunch of fucking people that aren't going to do anything for me? No, thanks. How do you feel about couples that have been together since high school? They started off codependent and stayed codependent throughout their whole entire life. And they've been codependent for so long. They've pretty much groomed each other to stay in the relationship. That's the reason why a lot of those high school relationships, they actually tend to last pretty long as they get older, because the younger you lock yourself, that's why they want girls to marry young, because the younger you lock yourself into something, you're being conditioned and groomed along the way for this to be your life. So that by the time you got to think, if you started dating someone at 15 and you're 30 now, you've already spent 15 years with that person and you're only 30. That's not even going to be 50% of your life. Like, I think the average woman lives until 72. That's not even half of your life. And you've come on. You literally have lived almost half of your life with just one fucking person. You don't know anything else. When you don't know anything else and you've been with the person that long, you're not going to go and deal with another person. That's why they want women to marry very, very young. Because, yeah, like, there's a girl I know, she's still married, and she's been with the same guy since she was 13, and she's 31 now. 13. She's been with the same guy since she was 13, and she's 31 now. And it's like, and the thing about it is that you don't know, I'm sorry, you don't get to know yourself. You don't get to know yourself when you're dealing with somebody that young. You only know who you are with that person. You only know who you are with that person. So when you only know a version of yourself with that person, why would you leave the person? It's the only version of you that you know that exists. Yeah, that's too young. Because you definitely don't know yourself at 13. You don't fucking know yourself at all. But most people are going to die and not know who they are at all. Let alone being between the ages of 13 to 16 and dealing with somebody and then dealing with that very same person all the way into your, adult years. Like, no, you're not going to be able to really have an identity for yourself. And by that time, when you've invested 10, 15 years with a person, you think once they done popped out some children, they've been married for so long, it'll take a lot for a person to meet someone that young and then to wake up one day and say, hey, I want to gain an identity of my own. Very rare. Very, very rare chance of that happening. Too codependent for me. I can't do it. I can't do it. I know myself and I have my own identity, and it can't be merged with another person. Like, you just gonna have to let me do me. And if you don't like it, that's cool. I'll do it all by myself. I will do it all alone. Most of these women that are married are going 50-50. Most women are paying to be with a man. So I'm just saying, most every listen, because when I be working with women and they tell me that they're married, I be getting all up in their business. I be getting all up in your business. Like, literally, I'd be like, so how do you and your husband? And I'd be trying to do it from like a sincere place. I'd be like, I'm not married and I'm looking to be married. And so I just want to see, like, what's a day in the life of you being married? Like, how does your like life look? I'll try to make it seem, I'll try to make it seem as if I genuinely want to get married so they could feel like they're teaching me something. Because you can't just straight up be like, do you and your husband go 50-50? Obviously, you can't be that dumb. But I will come from this place as if I look up to them. They be giving me all the tea than married women. They be like, oh yeah, like, I'll pay half of the house note, and the utilities, and like, he'll pay for the water bill or whatever. And I'm like, and she'll be like, yeah, and when I get off of work, I'll be cooking everything and I make sure I clean everything and put the kids away to sleep. And I'm like, in my head, that's what I'm thinking. But my outside face, I'm like, oh, okay, wow, you must really love your husband. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, that sounds so great. Like, you make marriage look so good. I be pumping up, their head or whatever, so they be feeling like they're doing something right. Whole time I'm like, that shit sounds terrible. I'm not doing any of that. I'm like, let me see your ring, girl. Let me see your ring. I'm looking, I'm like, oh, that's for 50-50. I'm like, she done paid off the ring with all her labor and her going 50-50. She done paid off her own ring with all that work she's doing. All for a ring? Hell no. Not happening. And guess what? I could just hire somebody. If it's somebody, if I have, that's why I'm like, I'm always tell y'all, just get your money. If you need anything around the house, just go on ahead and tell them, hire somebody, and just lie and say that you're married. Okay? That way they don't try to get one over on you. Wear a fake ring, wear a fake ring, and be like, yeah, my husband's gonna be home shortly. And you could use AI for everything. You could use AI for everything. So have it be over the phone and and generate a man's voice and just make up some lie. Be like, he's special needs, so he may take a while to respond. They won't know. You know how many women, will call for a service to get done? They'll get quoted for a service, and then they'll have their husband call for the same service, and then they'll get quoted lower, all because the husband called. You have to say that no, you have to say that the husband recently passed away, but you can't talk about it because you are a suspect for murder. you're suspect for a potential homicide. Like, yeah, I can't, my husband isn't here anymore. Oh, what happened? Well, I can't talk about that. I'm actually a suspect for a murder, a homicide investigation. So I can't really talk a whole lot about it. He's gonna be like, what? He gonna make sure he's gonna make sure that job is done quick, fast, in a hurry, and efficiently done. Well done. Like, nope. There's men that want a ring too. It's like they do get a ring. They get a wedding band. Like, what? They do get a ring. They get a wedding band if he doesn't block you first. Girl, you gotta wait till he inside the house. You gotta wait till he's inside the house. So that way he's like, he feels trapped. Right. They definitely don't. I make ugly faces around men so they won't find me attractive and leave me alone when I'm out and about. It's so freeing, girl. I be talking to myself and everything. Nothing is better than just being cringe because it will repel men. Like, there's literally been times where I saw a man, he started noticing me, and I just started talking crazy stuff. Like, I just was like, he's like, it's so much fun scaring them. It gives me joy scaring them, creeping them out, repelling them. There's women over here that are literally, they're over here watching all types of content, trying to figure out what it is that they should do to get a man. And I'm over here purposely acting like a crazy woman to get them to not talk to me. I'd be rubbing my temples. I'd be like, they'd be like, oh my God. It gives me life. It legit gives me life. I'm like, I'm crazy. Okay, I'm a nutcase. Please, like, don't come over here. Don't come over here, please. I take so much joy in freaking them out and making them think that I mean that I don't even need to make them think that I'm crazy because I really am crazy. Men men, like, I kid you not, I think more men than not have just like straight up said that I was batshit crazy. Honestly. I think more men than not have just straight up said, like, you're fucking crazy. Okay. So yeah. If they've gotten to know me well enough, a lot of men will realize that, yep, I'm crazy. Right. I put the hot and psychotic. Pretty much most men, yeah. Most men are like, no, girl, you're fucking crazy. Why is scaring men so fun? I don't know, because they try to act tough all the time. They try to act tough all the time. So it's fun putting them in a state of fear. Like, one day I just want a man to come up to me and I want to be like, rah! Like, I want to make the ugliest face possible. Like, I just want to unleash on one. Like, that's what I'm going to do next. That's what I'm going to do next. I'm just going to straight up go insane and just growl at them or start barking. That will heal me. That will heal me by doing that. I'm laughing because I was the woman watching male content. One time I took off all my clothes to get a man away from me and he ran. Oh my God, I'm hollering. I'm hollering. Yeah, scaring men is definitely super super fun. Super super duper fun. Definitely a pastime of mine. And I was even doing it in relationships. I was like, I want to scare this guy today. Actually, one of my relationships, I definitely didn't prank the guy as much. I didn't prank him. I should have been more deviant because like he liked to play a lot of like jokes and do a lot of pranks. I didn't do my due diligence at the time. Honestly, I didn't do my due diligence at the time. But knowing me, pulling a prank on somebody, they would be severely injured. Okay? Like one time I wanted to prank my ex and like I wanted to put olive oil all over the shower. I wanted to put olive oil all over the bathroom floor while he was in the shower, and then I was gonna be in his bathroom, and I was gonna blow a blowhorn and like keep blowing it. That way, he would race out of the bathroom and then bust his ass. But I was like, with my luck, he would break his arm. And then if he breaks his arm, he wouldn't be able to provide for me anymore because he was spending money. So I was like, just forget it. Yeah, at the time, I didn't realize, but yeah, he had did like a couple pranks on me earlier in our relationship. He would do a couple pranks. And knowing what I know now, I'm like, what the fuck? He was totally humiliating me. I was at the gym the other day and this woman trainer was repulsed by this man. You could feel the energy. This one guy told me he was terrified of me. I told him he should be and did a creepy grin. Oh my god, I love this. I love this. I swear when you don't care about male validation anymore, this is the type of person you just become. Like you really do become a person where it's just like I'm just going to be a terror. I'm just going to terrorize them and like really just be a person that they just become repulsed by and that they genuinely become afraid of. Like I don't care how crazy or how stupid or how ridiculous I look, like that's where I'm at, okay? Like I don't care, okay? Mm-mm. Doesn't really matter how much I scare them or make them feel uncomfortable. Because guess what? They have no problem scaring women and making women feel uncomfortable. They don't have a single problem with that. I had one patient. I had one patient, and he was like, "I could tell you're single," and so I said, he was like, "I could tell you're single," and so I started talking to myself, and I said, "That's a death tally for that one." I just whispered to myself, I said, "That's a death tally for that one." He was like, what are you talking about? What did you say?" And I was like, "Oh, nothing." And I said, I was like, "Do you like to read?" I just passed it off like I wasn't saying anything. I was like, "Do you like to read?" And he's like, "Yeah, I do like to read." And I had asked him like what he was reading or whatever. And so he told me what he was reading. And so he's like, "What are you reading?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm reading one of my witchcraft books." I was like, "Yeah, like I'm learning these like really cool spells to put on people or whatever." He was like, "Oh my God, you're a witch." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm a witch." And it was so funny. I was like, "Don't worry." I was like, "I'm not gonna, tally you or anything or like put anything on you." And so after the end of the exam, I walked him out and he was like, "You didn't put any spell on me or anything." He was like, "You're not gonna," he was so serious too. He was like, "You're not gonna do any of that witchcraft stuff on me, are you?" And I was like, "Maybe." I said, "Maybe. Have a good day." Something is so wrong with me, but I swear y'all like whatever's wrong with me. I swear y'all like whatever's wrong with me. Yeah. I feel you mentioned this when a patient thought you were a witch. Yeah, I was like, yes, I'm a witch. I swear to God, when all else fails, just start talking to yourself. Okay. Nothing will make a person feel more uneasy than seeing a person start talking to themselves. Okay. I know, like, especially when I lived in New York City, like people talking to themselves or rapping things out loud. I'll be walking on the side on the sidewalk. As soon as a person was talking to themselves, I cross right across the street and I'm walking on the other side of the street. No, thank you. Okay, there's never a time a person talking to themselves ever looked approachable. There's never been a time a person talking to themselves ever looked like they were mentally stable. So, and I already talked to myself in my own lonesome. Okay. Men call us crazy, then find our anger and shenanigans cute. And it's like the only reason why they find it cute is because they're like, well, I think the reason why they see it as cute is because it's like, we're not going to fucking kill anybody. That's why. Like, I think in their brain, they're like, oh, that's so cute. Like, she actually thinks she's angry because she's not going to kill someone or like harm someone physically. That's why they think it's cute. Yes. Like, I feel as though it's a diss when they say that, like, they think our anger is, like, cute. It's like, no, I feel as though they're only saying that because, like, they know that they can't take it seriously because they don't actually see us, like, physically harming them because that's what they would do because they have the ability to do it. Yes, you're right. I see a lot of people talking to themselves, the bus stop in Atlanta. Exactly. You're like, "What the freak is going up there? What's happening up there?" You're like, "They're not wrapped too tight." That's exactly what I'm always trying to give to men. Okay? That's mm-mm. It's always given mentally unstable if a man is around all the time. There was this one guy that I was talking to. Oh my gosh. I've talked about things that I would say to him before, but I would just get these bouts where I would just verbally abuse him via text message. Like, I just would wake up in a mood and I would start calling him all types of bitches and I would be so mean. Okay. My tongue is sharp. My tongue is very sharp. I would be so disrespectful to this man. And it's just simply because, like, I just was in the mood to be. And he even texted me that too. He was like, "You're good for about 2 to 3 months, and then all of a sudden you start spewing all this disrespectful bullshit out." With men, I have a really bad habit of, like, wanting to start shit, like, every 2, 3 months. It's like a habitual thing. Like, I get bored. I get bored of it being, like, quiet and nothing happening, and so I'm just like, "I feel like pushing a button today." Does anyone watch Yunti Tia? Does anybody watch Yunti Tia on TikTok? That is the energy that I fucking have. Okay. That is the energy that I fucking have. Yunti Tia is like one of Rick. Well, I don't know if Rick Ross has multiple baby mamas, but if he has multiple, that's one of them. And she'll go on live stream on TikTok and like she has her real phone. She's so invested into this shit, she got a burner phone. So it might be people, yes, it might be people that she knows, and sometimes it's just people in the live stream where she will call people and she'll just start shit for no reason. She will fucking call their number and be like, "It's Yunti Tia. I heard you're a deadbeat dad and that you're a piece of shit dad. What do you have to think about that?" And they'd be like, "Who is this?" And she's like, "I told your dumbass it's Yunti Tia." Get back to the subject. She will fucking harass these people. And with the men, it's even funnier because the men will hang up on her and then call her the fuck back. They will keep calling back. They literally love the abuse. So even when these men, I would be starting shit with them and like having these bouts with them and stuff, they would always respond. They would always text back. It would never be enough to get them to leave me alone because they actually love that shit. They try to make it seem as if, oh, I want peace and bring me peace. No, the fuck they don't. That's boring. That's fucking boring. If a man is around me, I want to stress him out. You're not going to sit here and have peace all the time. Like, you're in my space. I want to make sure that you're reminded that I barely want you here. Okay? I would be cussing their asses out. It is something cathartic because men try so hard to cover up the fact that they have emotion that when you actually yell at them or you take a jab at their insecurity, you're reminded that they're human. Okay, that's what they don't realize. For me, when I would be starting shit every few months, I just wanted to be reminded that this man was a fucking human. That's the reason why I would do it. I mean, now that I'm like actually processing why, that's the reason why I would do it. And honestly, subconsciously, I think that's a lot of reason why women will just start up shit for no reason. A lot of women want to start up shit for no reason with men because we want to be reminded that it's a human that we're dealing with. Like, do you not have an emotion? Like, do you not have like a visceral response and like a strong feeling in response to something? Like, are you alive? Like, I just wanted to be reminded that they were alive. They act so dead all the time. Like, chow. 1-star Google review for the witchcraft. Chow. I saw this growing up with my mom and aunt. Auntie was big mean the minute. I'm telling you, a lot of them prefer it when you're just not all that nice to them. Honestly. Honestly. They like it when we're kind of mean to them. They do. Because it's just not boring. It's boring when someone's nice to them all the time. I feel like a lot of time they're going to be questioning why you would want to be nice to them anyway. It is a man after all. It is a man after fucking all. Why would you want to be nice to a man? It's probably what they're thinking. Their football coaches aren't nice to them. Their fathers aren't nice to them. The people they respect the most are not fucking nice to them. The way, all you have to do is ask a man who he respects, not who he likes, not who he cares about, who he respects. Ask a man the number one person that he respects. And I guarantee you, it's always going to be somebody that was mean to him, someone that was disciplining him, someone that was pushing him. That's going to be the person that that man respects. Men respect people that bully them. I'm telling you. They're like, yeah, especially when I started realizing that a lot of men, especially the men that are in sports, when I started realizing that men that played sports, um they actually respect their coaches more than their own mothers. I'm like, okay, there's something to this. Belle, I figured, I was like, where is she? Because I saw you just commented on one of my videos that I made, the one about Duke Dennis. I was like, does she know that I'm streaming right now? I was literally on my way to get off, but I'll stay a little bit longer. I will. I'll stay on for like 10, 15 more minutes. Chow is because they're homosocial. I did a live stream on that yesterday with that T thumbnail that I found. that T thumbnail that I found. I was like, I can't do a thumbnail of two men kissing because that's homosexual. And that won't land the way that I want to land. I was like, so we can't push the envelope that far. And when I saw that picture, I was like, yep, that's it. They're not kissing, but they're close. They're close. They're that if that ain't homosocial, I don't know what is. That thumbnail that I had for that live stream yesterday. If that ain't homosocial, I don't know what is. He was all nooked into him. He was like, Stoic is good too, though. And the reason why Stoic is good is because it's going to drive them up the wall that they can't get an emotional reaction out of you. See, that's the thing. Like, I'm a Gemini moon, so it really does depend on it depends on what mood I'm in that day. It depends on what side wants to come out and play. Okay, either I'm just not going to care or like I'm going to push your buttons. Like, it really just depends. The switch, whatever switch I decide to activate, that's the version that man's going to get. He said it's his mother he respects the most. She gave him up for adoption. So guess what? He respects a woman that didn't want him. Because I'm assuming you're talking about the actual mother, the birth mother, or the adoptive mother. Because if he respects his mother that gave him up for adoption, he probably understands why she gave him up then. Get a picture that will trigger them play to their homoerotic side. I feel like that picture was pretty good. I'm hollering. But I mean, honestly, I don't know. He searched for her decades later, found her one town away from him, asked me to meet her. I declined. Intuitively, I knew he was dusty. It would be a waste. Damn, one town away. One town away, that's nuts. I wouldn't want to meet her either. There was one guy who I was talking to. I went to elementary school with him, and he gave me this long spiel about like his relationship with his mother and how the relationship with his mother wasn't good. And he literally asked me to go with him to the state that his mother lived in and be there with him like while he like was talking to his mom. I'm like, I'm not doing that shit. And you want to know what? I'm so terrible. This is what I'm talking about, just putting yourself first and just not being guilty. Like being willing to feel guilty as opposed to being resentful. At the time, I just told him whatever he wanted to hear, honestly, and I was just like, okay, yeah, I'll go. Because I thought he was just talking shit. I wasn't taking him seriously. And so I was like, yeah, I'll go with you. And so then it got closer and I was like, I'm not going with you. He's like, but I already told my mom. And I'm like, all right, well then now you got to go and tell her that I ain't coming, but I'm not coming. He's like, wow, you mean you literally want me to sit here and tell my mother that you're not going to be coming after I told her? And I said, yes, because I'm not going to be there. Why do you want me to come anyway? We're not dating. We're not even like cool like that. Like, I thought you were just saying shit. Like, I didn't think that you were being for real. I thought you were like future faking and shit. I didn't actually think you were seriously that crazy to do some shit like that. That's the only reason why I said that. I was just playing along. I was like, why would you be serious about something like that? And I think I even said that too. Why would you be serious about such a thing? That's crazy. And to think And I hope he wasn't being serious thinking that I took that as some token of his interest. Okay? That none of that interests me. I have nothing to gain. I have literally nothing to gain by even hearing you talk about your mom and traveling for you to go deal with your mom. No, absolutely not. He wanted to use you. I don't know. His mom might have thought he was gay. And the thing about it was that he has a child. He has a child, and I never wanted to tell him that. I was like, I don't even think that child's yours. Okay. To this day, I still want to tell him, like, did you get a DNA test on that child? Because that child looks nothing like you. Okay. Child looks nothing like you. Unless that's his fake child to hide that he's gay. It could be that too. I don't know. It might be. Who knows? I don't know. But he was adamant. He was super pissed off. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, like, oh, I don't want to hear about any of that stuff. Like, I don't care about like the future that you see with me. I don't care about any of this stuff that you're foreseeing into the future. Okay? That doesn't do anything for me. I cannot do anything with these words that you're telling me. Okay? I need the cash in hand. Please. Okay? What advice would you give women who understand the nature of men but still want to get married one day? Find a man that's super fucking old, that has money, that'll put you in the will, and he's going to die soon. And then you just get married to him before he dies, and you'll have to only invest like 5 to 7 years into the marriage, and then boom, you'll have money and you'll be fine. I'm at a point to start being me. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. And I remember I told the guy, I was like, dude, you're not masculine. I was like, you're annoying. I was like, I sent him a whole text message telling him this too. I'm like, all you do is complain and like dump on me emotionally. I was like, that shit's not masculine and I don't want to talk to you anymore. I told him that straight up. I was like, I don't want to fucking talk to you anymore. I was like, ugh, you're annoying. Yes. Get someone old and that has money, okay? He'll be too old to care what you're doing and have enough money you can hire a nurse. Thank you, Jacqueline. It's hard making friends now. I feel they view me as pessimistic or crazy for the views similar to yours. Yeah, being male centered is going to isolate you. I'm going to talk about that on the spiritual channel. But decentering men is going to isolate you. It is, but it's the next level of ascension. Ascension is lonely. It is, it's lonely, but eventually you get used to it. And while you're on your journey of ascension, you really start tapping into your power and your energy, and you start getting really picky about entangling your energy with people. And eventually you'll realize that you don't want to entangle your energy with people like that. Yeah, girl, you're not alone. You're not alone. It's going to be, I'm telling you, if you're decentering men right, it's going to get lonely. You're not really going to have a whole lot of friends because when you understand decentering men, it opens up like a whole gateway. Like the decentering men is like a gateway drug. It's a gateway drug to a lot of other things when you really encompass yourself into it. And naturally, that's just going to isolate you more. Like you'll decenter men, then you'll start learning about patriarchy, then you'll start learning about the whole rabbit hole with all about that. Then you'll start learning about capitalism. Then you'll start learning about intersectionality. And then you'll start learning about how patriarchy patriarchy, politics, capitalism are all in one. Like, you're going to go down so many freaking rabbit holes on this decentering men journey. You're going to just exist in your own fucking bubble. Between here and the spiritual channel, yeah, I talk about it all. Yes. You can read When God Was a Woman. You can read The Cosmic Mother. You can read books by Bell Hooks. Yeah, like those are all, like When God Was a Woman's a really great starter book. The Cosmic Mother is really thick and the text is really small. It's a very robust book, but I feel like When God Was a Woman, like that's a doable book by Merlin Stone. I'm telling you, it's a whole degree. Okay, it's like a whole degree in decentering men, because when you really learn about it, it's gonna open up so many other avenues for you to learn about the world, about our collective consciousness. Like, it's going to take you down a lot. Okay. Exactly. Soon enough, you're casting spells and doing shadow work. I'm telling you, it's definitely it's definitely gonna put you, it is definitely gonna take you on a ride. My family is constantly bugging me about relationships because they feel I'm 26 and should start, but I have no desire to date right now, seriously, unless it would benefit me 100%. That doesn't happen. Don't listen to them. Because guess what? When you're on your decentering men journey, it's going to isolate you from your family too. It is going to isolate you from your family. Before you know it, you really ain't going to have no friends or no family. It's just going to be you. Because you'll start to realize that when you're going down these rabbit holes, even if your family isn't male centered, they're still being encompassed by all these patriarchal like teachings. And these are teachings that are shackling them and chaining them to this like prison, like this mental prison that they're in. And it just becomes very hard for you to talk to people like that. And over time, you're going to realize you can't teach these people anything. They're happy prisoners because they've been brainwashed for so long. So you start to realize that you don't even have the energy or the time to invest in trying to educate these people. So you just don't, and you just say, you know what, forget about it. Like, I'm just going to use my energy for myself and go from there. Grew up with older bullies that bullied me for being a girl. Yeah, I mean, it's really important for you to reclaim parts of yourself that's like been taken. You know what I mean? Parts of yourself that you've been made to like feel negatively about. You know what I'm saying? If male validation was worth anything, why do I still have to work? Thank you. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Thank you. That's why I said this male validation. What the fuck? What is the payoff? Because a man, there's men everywhere. Okay. I don't work for things that are in abundance like that. I work for things that are rare. Okay. I work for things that are so rare that they're of high value. I'm not going to work for a man when there are men everywhere. If all it takes is for you to have an appendage in between your legs and 50% of the population has that, that's not a good bargain. Okay. That's not a good bargain. Honestly, just doesn't make sense. Yeah, if you have a lot of great things going on, in most cases, if you have a lot of great things going on, it will just decline if you put a man in the picture. Yep. And it's like the thing about it is that you could tell they're using it for their own ego when like family members do that. Like, when are you going to give me a grandchild? When are you going to give me a grandchild? And it's like, you simply want your children to have grandchildren because you want to brag about you being a grandparent. Like, grandparents brag about their children as if like they're trophies. It's like I'm supposed to like be happy because your daughter or son like had sex and birthed a person. Like I just don't understand. I don't understand. I don't know. I don't get what the hype is all about. Even in media, the women that have no kids and that are single are portrayed as the happiest. Yep. Yes, it's like, oh, I don't want to think about being young again. I would never turn back time to be young. I would never do it. Forget that. Yes, I'm telling you, that solo traveling with Tracy Ellis Ross made me feel so seen. Okay. Like, makes me feel so seen because that's how I am. Like, when I'm doing my own thing, sharing my own space, like, I love the episode. I can't remember what country she was in, but my favorite, my favorite was when she had like made dinner reservations that night. And then she decided that she no longer wanted to go to the reservation. She wanted to stay inside. So she just had her nice dressed up outfit and she just stayed in the resort because that's 1,000%. I've done that so many times. I've done that so many times. It's just like those are little things that like you get to appreciate when you're actually single. Because I'm sorry, okay, but as I don't take pride in doing things that I don't want to do if I have the choice to not do it, if me not doing it is not going to impact my life progress in some type of way. So I'm not talking about like going to the gym because I don't feel like going to the gym all the times that I need to go, but like I do go because if I don't go, that will impact me in some way. It's not going to impact me if I fucking cancel a dinner reservation. It will impact me if I go and I don't feel like going. So I always would rather have the option of just not having to do something because I simply just don't feel like doing it if it's not going to impact me in a negative way. I love having that option. And the more people that you deal with, the more you have obligations and you can't renege on those obligations because you have to think about other people. The most freeing thing about decentering men is when you just let go of the lonely stage. You're no longer in the lonely stage and you're in the, oh my God, the only person I have to think of is myself stage. Like after the lonely stage, you realize, okay, yes, it's a little bit lonely, but then you're like, I only have to worry about myself. Like, I don't have to be obligated to go to all of these events that I don't feel like fucking going to. I don't have to feel obligated to try to like, help all of these people with their problems and nobody's helping me with mine. Like you have like this big weight that just falls off your shoulders because you finally realize I don't have to do anything. I could just be. And it's just so nice to just be. I just want to be. I definitely don't want to go back to my 20s. Okay. I don't want to go back to my 20s. I was a hoe then. I mean, it was fun, don't get me wrong, but I just was making all types of errors and stuff, and I wasn't ascended and I wasn't conscious. And like, I was just vibrating so low in my 20s. Like, I just was, mm-mm. I would never want to go back. I was a monster in my 20s. I was a monster. I was I was so destructive in my 20s. No thanks. Wouldn't want to go back there. Mm-mm. No, thank you. I've heard some parents who try to get their kids with someone and marry, have kids because they themselves are insecure of their own sexuality and they project it to their kids. I could believe that. I could believe that. Meanwhile, I'm over here like shit. I wouldn't be shocked if my family members were wondering if I was gay. She's so pretty. How come she's not with anyone? Maybe she's gay. Oh, it would be funny to be a fly on the wall if somebody had a conversation like that about me. Because we've all had those conversations, like that person, what's going on with that person? They seem like they like the opposite sex. Why aren't they with anybody? Like they're attractive and they seem like a cool person or whatever. They must be gay. I wonder if anyone's had that conversation about me. That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious because no one's ever openly expressed it to me. I highly doubt anyone's ever had the conversation about me, but the way I'm moving in the following years, they might. She's getting older and older and older, and she still looks good, and she still doesn't have a person. She still ain't got no man. She must be playing for the other team. My dad asked me a couple months ago if I liked girls. See, when you're not male centered, I guess that's the next step in people trying to box you into something. All right, like, okay, she ain't dealing with no men, so she must like girls. That must be the next step. And pump fake them and bring a girl, but she's not a girlfriend or anything. She's not a romantic interest. Pump fake them and then just bring a home girl to your to the next family outing. This is just my friend. Are you sure? They're gonna want to get all in your business about the girl that you brought. Are you sure that's just your friend? Yes, that's just my friend. Troll them. That's what I would do. I'm a real life troll, honestly. I am a real life troll. Okay. I'm definitely going to troll somebody, especially if I caught them talking about me, gossiping about me. Oh, baby, I'm trolling. Okay. I live for trolling. I live for it. I live for it. It brings me so much life to troll people. Because it's like, why do you care that much? Okay. Why do you care that much? It should not be that serious. Got a bunch of family members taking bets on when I plan to come out. So one of my exes, actually the one that used to prank me, his mom had actually told me that she thought he was gay. And his mom's really religious. She's Christian. And even he had told me, he was like, yeah, he's like, my mom used to think that I was gay because like I hadn't had a girlfriend. I was his first girlfriend since he was like 19. And we ended up dating when he was like 30. So he hadn't been in like a relationship at all for like 10 years. And him and his mom had literally told me that. He had told me that his mom was like, I love the sinner but hate the sin. I love the sinner but hate the sin. She thought he was gay. She straight up told me, she's like, yeah, we weren't really sure about his sexuality because he never brought anybody home before. I was the first girl that he brought home. And looking back, I'm like, maybe they were onto something. Because he didn't like it when I would smack his butt. He'd be like, don't smack my butt. He used to get so mad. He used to get so mad when I would smack his butt. And I'm like, why are you so mad about that? Who cares? Yes. Quoted the Mariah Carey. Right. Like, go ask the men why they're not desirable before you ask me before you ask me why I'm single. Please. I have always considered myself. My mom thinks I'm gay. It's like, bruh, oh my God. I'm hollering at everyone out of a lot of people saying that they're getting the gay allegations because they're choosing to not deal with men. It's like, okay, I can guarantee you, that there is a spectrum, okay, for women. I can't speak for men, okay, because men are on a completely different spectrum. They're very much depraved. So I can't speak for them. But for women, it's like there's more of a spectrum. Like women don't operate out of depravity like men do and like male centered women do. We don't act from depravity. So we're not coming from this mindset of like, oh, well, if I don't want to deal with men, then like I'm going to go deal with women. Like it's not that serious. Okay? Like it's really not that serious. I promise you. Like we're not depraved. We're not searching for like the next best thing now in a woman. It was never that serious. It was never given. It was never given. I'm so desperate. I'm gonna turn into a lesbian. It was never given that. They were like, "So do you have a girlfriend?" Bro, why do the families care so much? Why do they care so much? It's never that serious. It's never that serious. Never that serious. Why did Princella the Queenmaker come into my live stream, y'all, yesterday that I had on TikTok? She came into my live stream. I was like, did your minions send you over here? I'm like, who sent you over here? Because you don't follow me. You don't follow me. She's like, no. I'm like, someone asked me about you, and I'm now currently talking about you, and somehow you've popped over here at the perfect time. And I gave her a piece of my mind. I gave her what I was thinking. And then she's like, I'm not manipulating. I'm like, girl, we're all manipulating. Like, let's be for real. That was pretty entertaining. That was pretty entertaining. Because over in the TikTok streets, they're talking about Princella a lot because that flawed villain girl's been talking about her. So they've been having a lot of discourse about Princella over there, but it was funny. I'm like, you didn't even follow me. What you doing over here, girl? She was like, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Family be wanting so bad for you to just settle. LOL. The stuff my mom be saying to me is wild. And it's like, it's not that serious. It's crazy because the TikTok streets, like I have to be so mindful about what I post over here because the TikTok streets and the YouTube streets are not the same. So sometimes I'll talk about stuff and I'll bring it over here and y'all will be like, who are these people that you're talking about? And I be forgetting, I'm like, oh, this is the TikTok street stuff. This is the TikTok. This is TikTok County. And I'm bringing TikTok County stuff over to YouTube County. And then y'all won't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, she's had a lot of like they've had a lot of discourse over her over there lately. Cause like, yeah, people are really I don't know what to call it, but people are saying a lot over on TikTok. I'm like, damn. Like a lot. I'm like, wow. Wow. But all right, y'all. I'm going to get off of here. Okay. I had a wonderful time on the stream. I told y'all that I was going to be streaming a little bit more this week for you all. So, you know what? That reminds me, I do need to put the live stream. I'm going to post it in the membership channel. I have to download it. I actually meant to do that yesterday and I forgot. I'm actually going to I'm going to put today's live stream from TikTok on the membership channel too. But yeah, I had a great time talking to you all per usual. Yeah, the lives automatically save on TikTok. I just have to download it and upload it here, but it'll be in the membership. All the TikTok live streams always go into the membership if I feel that they're worthy enough. I always put them in the membership tier. But yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, check out the Patreon, check out the membership tier, check out my partnership with Womanizer, so that way you don't have to get no STDs or get pregnant from these men. But I hope you all have a wonderful day, evening, afternoon, wherever you're watching. And I will talk to you all next time.